Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am Veronica Orozco. I work with the Parent Services Department, formerly the Attendance Improvement and Truancy Reduction Department. So thank you very much for having us here today. We're very excited to some important information on how we can work together to improve our student attendance. Okay. And now our agenda. So today we want to talk about 5 main points. We want to talk about the Texas compulsory attendance law, why attendance is so important, especially now during the pandemic, and also review 10 facts about school attendance, why we need parents as partners in this academic success, and what we can all do to improve student attendance. So again, we will start first with the Texas state compulsory law. So the Texas state compulsory attendance law states, state law requires children to school each and every day that instruction is provided. The law applies to children ages 6 to 19. If you voluntarily enroll your child in pre-kindergarten or kindergarten before the age of 6, school attendance laws apply to your child too. A person voluntarily enrolls in or attends school after turning 19 and is also required to attend for the entire period of instruction. So what this basically says is that if they start before the age of 6, truancy laws do apply, and they must be enrolled through the age of 19 unless they've received their GED or high school diploma, okay? So now, why does attendance matter? So to understand why attendance matters, let's define what constitutes both satisfactory and poor attendance, okay? So typically, we feel that students who have 9 or fewer absences for an entire school year are doing pretty well. We would consider that satisfactory attendance. Students who begin to accumulate 10 to 17 absences for the year are starting to show signs of attendance issues. And then our last group is students that have 18 or more absences. At that point, we consider these students to be exhibiting chronic attendance issues. Now, again, these absences are based on our traditional school calendar, okay? So keep those numbers in mind, if you will. Okay. So we know that attendance matters, but when we dig deep down, these are the reasons why the attendance matters. So whether the absence is excused or non-excused, anytime our kids are not in school, they're losing valuable instructional time. The chronic absenteeism, which we just discussed, was 18 or more absences. This can really lead to frustration whenever the student is engaging in school because they've been absent so many times. And they're kind of behind academically. They're a little lost. We know that research shows that students who attend school regularly are more likely to succeed. They're there, they're listening to instruction, they're getting feedback, there's an opportunity to ask questions. Students can be chronically absent if they only miss a day or two every few weeks. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at your child's attendance reports, and again, even if they're excused absences, that time out of school really can add up. Attending school regularly helps our students to feel better about themselves and about school. Those absences can be a sign that a student is losing interest in school, struggling with schoolwork, or other difficulties, which we already discussed can lead to their frustration academically. Poor attendance is not just about unexcused absences. Remember, excused absences can also affect their academic success. So it's not just the unexcused, it's really just any time that they're out. So now we want to move on to 10 facts about school attendance. Okay, so did you know remote learners are required to be engaged with every scheduled class, Contact your child's school for assistance with technology or academic support. So we know right now during this time, we may have students or families that are preferring virtual learning or may need to go to virtual learning. Please make sure that you know their schedule and that they are logging in on time. And again, reach out to the campus if they are needing any type of academic support or technology support, okay? So now let's talk about 10 facts about school attendance. Excessive absences in the first month of the year can predict poor attendance throughout the school year. Over 8 million students in the United States miss nearly a month of school. Poor attendance can influence whether our children can read proficiently by the 3rd grade. And as most of you may know, 3rd grade is when our students take their STAR reading test. That really lays the foundation and lets us know how they're doing academically. When our students improve their attendance, they will improve their academic prospects as well. Our student attendance improves when our schools engage students and our parents in positive ways. So it's really imperative that we not just engage our students, but families. And we understand that, and we really do appreciate their engagement. So continuing on with 10 facts, chronic absenteeism, which we addressed earlier, was about 18 absences or more, can often be an early indicator of a potential dropout. Every minute matters to our students. When our students that are 10 minutes or more late to school, this can add up to 33 hours of missed instructional time for the year. That's a lot of time. That's just for being a few minutes late. Imagine what they have missed in 33 hours. Our research shows that our students are chronically absent 18 or more days, have an 81% chance of reading below grade level. And again, that's correlated with their academic frustrations and lack of moving forward academically. When our students improve their attendance rates, they improve their chances of graduating. School attendance rates are better in schools where our parents feel welcomed and engaged and where they can trust that their child or children are safe. So now moving on. So this is really the crux of why parents are so important to us in our students' academic success. And next slide, please. So our parents as partners. So pretty sure a lot of our families have heard before that they are essential. And parents, you truly are essential in partnering with us to promote great attendance, as you are bottom line responsibility for setting attendance expectations and making sure that your child gets to school every day. In our school district, Dallas ISD, your school district, we respect and honor our family's knowledge and potential to contribute to your child's education and create processes that draw on the hopes and dreams of our families for a better future for your children, as well as your insights into what will help your family and your child get to school. We truly do believe, and we try to make it a forefront in all of our communication, that working together with our school, with our families, with our community partners, we can truly deliberately build systems that will support family engagement. So continuing on with our parents as partners in academic success. So beyond delivering children to school, our families play an essential role in identifying in any school or community what the barriers to attendance are, as well as what would motivate students to go to school. So parents, you live in your community, you know what is available, what is not available, And by letting the school know what challenges may be affecting barriers to attendance, you can partner with the school to let them know how we can work together to increase the students' chances of attending school and ensuring that the school is able to work with you and collaborate with you to increase student attendance. Please make sure that you are maintaining constant communication with your campus so that way you can continue to be a partner in their academic success. Because we're doing so much virtually, our schools are really trying to do their best and are updating their websites so that way you can also reach out and go to this campus links to make sure that you are aware of anything that's going on with your district or your campus. And you're always welcome to contact the district or your child's school so you know what's happening. Now moving on to the next slide. What can we all do to improve attendance? So this is where we all join in together. All right, next slide. Let's make sure that our kiddos are in bed by a certain time. If you don't have an alarm clock, most of us have a that has an alarm setting. Use that. Whenever possible, try to schedule those doctor appointments after or before school. Make sure that you're active in school. Check out our websites. Know what's going on. Ask what's going on. Please contact the schools if you're wanting to know any specific information or upcoming events. Remember to continue to talk to your child about why attending school is so important, even at an early age. Remember that the counselors, teachers, and administrators are there if you have any questions or concerns regarding safety. Make sure that you keep an attendance chart at home. Recognize your child for their great attendance and improved attendance. And remember to start on time. So whether you're dropping them off or they're learning virtually, make sure that you have all your devices and connectivity, especially now when we've got so many families doing a hybrid of in-campus and virtual learning. It's really important that we continue to keep our processes in place, our school habits in place, so that way when this is all over, we move on and continue on without a hitch. So our district partners, academic success. So again, our Dallas ISD teachers, our principals, counselors, and campus staff, and social workers, and our central departments, including us, we're able and willing to assist with helping to understand and resolve any issues that may be keeping your student from attending school. So again, it's not just the campus. We really do have other departments, and we really try to serve our families and make sure that we are keeping the focus on your students' well-being and academic success and how we can serve you. There are also extra programs and services available, such as tutoring, even virtual tutoring, and counseling, which may be helpful to address and supporting some of our students holistically. Sometimes we understand that some of the services or needs are outside of our scope. So Dallas ISD, we partner with our community, with our city, with our county for city and resources to meet the needs of our families. So if our district may not be able to assist you, we will certainly work with you to get you where you need to go to ensure that you've got those resources. To continue to communicate and stay connected during these times, aside from calling the campus, families, you can also use our new online customer service tool. We call it Let's Talk. And this is where you can, we can assist you with concerns and questions and comments 24 hours a day. We really do our best to try to connect with you, the parent, and also try to resolve any concerns or issues with the campus within 24 hours. We don't want you waiting longer than you have to address that concern. So please make sure that if you're unable to contact the school, please use our online platform to communicate any questions or concerns that you may have. Okay, so again, if we can encourage and continue to motivate our students to attend today, we know without a doubt they will most certainly achieve tomorrow. So again, thank you so much. We are the Parent Services Department. Please follow us. We are on Twitter and we've got a Facebook page and we do check it regularly. We also try to make sure that we highlight things that are happening in our community, in our schools, and with our students. So please check us out. We really like to highlight what's going on in Dallas ISD. So thank you so very much for being here this morning. We really appreciate your time and your partnering with us.
Mr. Rocco,
Yes,
we do have a question.
absolutely.
It says, is there a policy that states, just a moment. Is there a policy that states how long parents have to submit an excuse note? And who is a designated person on campus who should be receiving those excuse notes?
Absolutely. So typically you should be sending those excuse notes to the attendance office. Okay. You are able to submit them via email. I would encourage you to find out or reach your campus and ensure that you're getting it to the attendance office or to the registrar. We encourage the excuse notes to be turned in within 3 school days. However, you do have until the end of the semester, wherever the absence occurred, to submit that excuse note.
Okay. I also see where Ms. Davis has commented. She answered the question as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Absolutely. Any other questions? Any other concerns?
I don't see any more on here. That was the only question. Mr. Rosso, that was the only question.
Okay. All right. So again, we just want to make sure that our families know that we are here to support. Reach out, connect with us. One good thing, if you will, about this pandemic it is allowing us to expand our contact with families. Not only can they call, they can also let us know what's going on via Let's Talk. A lot of families are on email. So please reach out to us. Make sure that if you have any questions or concerns, you're communicating with a campus. And we know that we do have additional resources in our school district, additional departments that collaborate with the schools and the families to assist. And again, if there's something outside of the scope of the school district, we will most certainly work with our community or city agencies to ensure that we redirect you to the appropriate services. You know, we just want to continue to collaborate with you to increase your students' attendance. And, you know, our goal is just to graduate all of our students for them to be academically successful. And, you know, we just want to be a part of that journey. So please communicate with us, contact us so that we can continue to work together.
Mr. Rosso, there's one other comment, a question from one of our staff persons. She said a student is participating in online learning and they're having technology issues. Therefore, they cannot turn on their cameras. Teacher marks the student absent. How can the student fix the absence?
Okay, so what I would encourage the student to do is see if they can contact the teacher either by phone or email and let them know what the issues are. With technology, they may be referred to maybe the IT specialist on the campus to to assist them in trying to resolve the camera issue. But really the main thing is to communicate with the teacher to let them know what the challenge is with that technology so that they can address it and work with the student.
Okay.
And fix the absence, yes.
Okay, thank you for that. One other question from one of our staff members. What should parents do if the school bus picks up their student late and the student is marked absent?
Okay, as long as it is a school bus, then typically the campus will know that the bus is running late, but most definitely reach out to the campus, let them know, and they should be able to fix that absence to a present because that was something that was out of anyone's control. But definitely monitor that attendance and make sure that they are changing it. But yes, if it's a bus, if the bus is late, if the school bus is late, that absence should be fixed.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that they need to work closely with their school campus to keep them informed of any issues or problems to get those
Yes,
resolved on that end.
yes. And if the bus is consistently late, then they may want to, again, just reach out to the campus, because the campus won't know that the bus is late or if there's any issues unless the parents notify them, and they can assist the parent in trying to get that resolved.
Okay. And I also see where Ms. Davis has commented and said to contact your department so that they can follow up.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
absolutely.
I actually also have a question that I had received.
Yes.
What do you recommend in regards to, like you touched on earlier, how students are responsible with virtual learning to attend all of their scheduled classes. But what if the parent is reporting that they're logging in with their child for the class, but that where they're at the time that they're supposed to, but that no one is available, or so they're not sure if it's been canceled or whatnot, but they're concerned that they're going to be marked absent. Like in a situation like that, what would you recommend for the parent to do?
Okay, so that can certainly happen because even some of our teachers are working virtually. And they're also, those that are not working virtually that are on campus, they've got a set of students in front of them and a set of students virtually. So they are still having their computer on. So sometimes even our teachers can experience some technical difficulty. I would wait about a minute or two, see if that teacher is able to log in. However, if you notice that it's taking more than about a minute or two, go ahead and contact the school and let them know. They will usually tell you, you know what, we apologize, class was canceled, the teacher left, they had an emergency. Or you know what, that teacher's having technology issues, just give us a few minutes. Most of the time, especially for elementary, if the parent is on the Remind app, they will notify you, letting you know this particular class has been rescheduled or is canceled. And I believe that the high schools and middle schools also try to communicate beforehand, letting them know, this is the class schedule that you need to follow. So just reach out to the campus if it's taking more than a minute or two. Let them know that there is no one there, and they, again, will either let you know if the class was canceled or if the teacher's experiencing technology issues.
Is there somebody specifically that they should ask for when they call the campus?
I have typically found that the main office usually will knows about the technology issues that the teacher might be experiencing, because the teachers usually reach out to the main office, or they're a really great contact because they can place the family on hold, the parent on hold, and they can sometimes walk down to the classroom and just verify what the technology issue is and just notify the parent.
And to add to what you're just saying, Ms. Orozco, a lot of times if you let the front office know, there may be other issues. I mean, there may be more than one. You may not be the only parent that's been calling.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's important to let the front office know, because, you call and you find out that maybe there's 4 or 5 other parents having the same issue. So, but I've had teachers who have told me that when they have problems, they have texted the parents as well to let them know.
Yes, some of them will have the parent's cell number, but I think we have, I think elementary has Remind. And I know there's different apps and whatnot, but yeah, teachers are really good about communicating issues. And sometimes they do have technology issues as well. So, but they're really trying to work that out. We've all kind of become mini iTech people in trying to resolve it. But yes, please let the school know anything. Even if you think it's minimal, please let the school know, so that way they can research it and look into it, because the goal of our school district, the goal of the classroom teachers, of everyone, is during this distant learning, during our pandemic, we want to make sure that we have a seamless educational platform for all of our students and our families to be able to communicate with us. We want to keep moving forward as seamless as possible.
Ms. Orozco, our staff was really busy today asking a lot of questions. But
No, good.
yes, somebody was asking, or truancy court still being held with the pandemic? And I see that Ms. Davis has answered that. She said not at this time.
No, there are no cases for the 2020-21 school year. In the event someone says I'm being sent to truancy court or I have court, last March when we were all sent home and everything was essentially shut down, truancy court also stopped. So any cases that are going on right now are from the 2019-2020 school year, but we're still taking a proactive and an intervention approach. Our goal is really when they're coming in, we're double checking what their attendance is like this year, if they're having any issues or concerns. And if the attendance has improved and the parent is not having any issues, or if they are having some concerns, our goal is to redirect them. And we're also working closely with the judge so that if the attendance has improved, that we can see if he could grant a dismissal. But we're really trying to take a proactive approach. But again, nothing from this school year, but the cases are being heard from last school year.
Thank you for sharing, Ms. Orozco. I also have another question. For our families who have students who attend numerous doctor's appointments, whether it's medical or mental health related, we always encourage them to make their appointments before or after school hours, right? But unfortunately, the reality is that we work around the doctor's schedules.
Yes, yes.
So for, especially like in terms of specialists, for families who have multiple either appointments or consistent, that's a medical or a mental health appointment that's within school hours, but there's nothing that can be done around that. What do you recommend in a situation like that? Because the student's obviously going to miss school,
Right,
to address the other concerns that they have an appointment for.
so their health, their mental health, their physical health is paramount, because if they're not okay, then they're not going to be performing academically. And we understand, you're right. We work around their doctor's offices. Keep your appointments. Make sure that you are getting an excuse note. You can go ahead and send it to the school, make a copy or email it to the school. And if they are needing to be out frequently, a little bit more than normal, just make sure that you're communicating with the teacher. 9 times out of 10, the teacher is aware of the situation. You parents do a great job of communicating with them, but just keep them abreast of their progress, of any needs, of any academic needs that they may have. And if your student is requiring maybe some one-on-one tutorials or additional time to submit the work, communicate with the campus so that they can continue to work with you. But definitely keep your appointments because if our kiddos are not okay mentally or physically, they're not going to be able to perform their best. But no, please keep those and just turn in those excuse notes.
And another question is for those situations that, especially for the little ones in elementary level, of course, they're relying on their caregivers to, most of the times to get them ready to get to and from school. In situations where maybe the caregivers own medical issues, either they're hospitalized or just with everything going on, maybe they have to quarantine. Like in situations like that, where it would affect the child's school attendance, what recommendations do you have in a situation like that? Because I'm not sure if the student would necessarily have an excuse absence, since it's not necessarily a direct issue with the student, if that makes sense.
It's more their caregiver, right, right. And hopefully nobody in elementary is driving just yet, okay? So hopefully by now, all of our kiddos have a functioning iPad, functioning Chromebook, okay? So if the family is needing to either quarantine or there's some other concerns that are occurring where the caregiver is not able to get them physically to the school, hopefully the student has their devices so that they can continue to engage academically in a virtual world, okay? In the event they cannot engage virtually, if the caregiver can communicate with the campus, we're needing to quarantine, this is the issue, but our technology is not working, or we need new technology. Communicate that. Campuses are aware that sometimes families or students rather are going to be engaging virtually, and campuses are also aware that sometimes our technology doesn't always work when we want it to or how we need it to. So they also have packets. So they've been used to that from probably last spring. So just communicate with them and they'll work with the family to ensure that the technology is either replaced or walk the family through the process or ensure that the student receives a packet. And again, if there needs to be some one-on-one for some missed time or a missed Zoom session, teachers are more than welcome to assist.
Okay. We do have another question in the chat message. Does my child get marked absent if the school calls me to pick him up because of his behavior? Well, that's a good question.
It is. So what should be occurring is, let's say you get a call because they have misbehaved. They should be suspended. It shouldn't just be a go home, okay? You need to make sure, parents, that you have the suspension paperwork. On the suspension paperwork, it should have what occurred that caused the suspension, including the dates that they are to be out of school. If you check within a few days, the absence should go from an unexcused to an O, an out of school suspension. Okay. Sometimes an incident may happen in gym class or may happen in the cafeteria or in the math class, and the other teachers may not know. So the student will be marked absent. The teachers may not know that he was suspended. But within a few days, those unexcused absences are converted to O's, which are suspensions. The school district does not count out of school suspensions against the students in regards to truancy. But we do need to make sure that our campuses are coding them correctly, knowing that they were sent home as an out-of-school suspension versus perhaps a medical appointment or some other acceptable excuse.
Okay. And just for clarity, parents can request an attendance report at any time or only during specific times of the school year?
Any time. Now, hopefully, most of our families have an email. If they don't have an email, you can probably talk to someone at the school and they can help you in creating an email account. Families should, if they apply, if they were able to enroll online, then they should have also created a Power School account or parent portal account. They can go on there. So the campus is happy to print an attendance report, send it to the family via email. But if the parent wants to have quick access to see for themselves without having to go through the school, if you've got Parent Portal, on Parent Portal, you can see their class schedule, you can see the teachers' names and emails, you can see their academic progress, you can see their grades, and you can see their attendance. If you don't have Parent Portal, reach out to the campus and they will assist you in creating or getting your Parent Portal account. Right now, we have Parent Portal in English and in Spanish, but if the families are needing a different language, although we only have it in those two languages, someone at the campus can assist that family in understanding what is on there and how to retrieve the information that they need.
Okay, that's excellent information. Thank you so much. Let me see, are there any other questions from anyone?
There are no other questions in the chat box.
Okay.
Now, have we been able to answer everyone's questions? Because we want to make sure that you guys, we don't want you to feel like, well, go to the campus, go to the campus. Because the student is enrolled there, because that's who holds their information. Even we will go to the campus, but let us know how we can assist you in navigating that and making sure that we're asking the right questions, or if you're not sure who to talk to, reach out to us. We will assist you in figuring out who the contact people are, or how can we get the right information and the most accurate information. We know sometimes some things change. However, some things are pretty standard. We want our students to be enrolled. We need them to be enrolled. And we want and need our parents to communicate with us, to let us know what's happening so that we can continue to work together. Because we can't do it without our parents. I have to say, our parents are the key ingredient. They are what makes this recipe work. So we need you. So please contact us, communicate with us.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Orozco. So I think since I see no more questions, and everyone has our contact information as well as the
Yes.
Parent Support Services Office, where Ms. Orozco works through. And if you all have any other questions that were not touched on by our presenter today, you can always feel free to reach out to us. There was one more question, actually.
Okay.
It just got put in there.
Yes.
They wanted to know, our staff person wanted to know if you, Ms. Orozco and Ms. Davis, are you all assigned by networks?
As much as humanly possible, yes.
Okay.
For the most part, we are under networks. However, we've also got some outlier schools that we've just built really great relationships with. So I think Ms. Davis is sending over our department assignments. I think it's going to be by feeder. So like if you see Adamson High School, it's going to be all the schools under Adamson. However, we do have some early colleges. I believe I've got 3 of them: Lassiter, Garza, Gilliam, but I think Ms. Davis has the new one over at the Irving Community College. So as much as possible, we are under network and feeders.
Okay.
And for those of us who are for those of you who are joining us today and are unsure what is meant by networks, our school district is divided by areas like north, south, east, and west. And so that's what they're referring to in terms of like networks. We can just say like areas of the school district.
Yes.
Okay then. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us today.